Hey everybody, it's Christina. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're making a card using Simon Hurley's Spring Bunnies Betterpress collection for Spellbinders. Let's get started. To begin, I'm using the Waffle Flower grip mat to hold my cardstock in place while I blend ink. I'm using the Simon Says Stamp A2 rectangle masks so I can create a masked area on my BISQUE cotton cardstock. You can also mask this section off with low-tack tape if you don't have a stencil, or you can even create one using a rectangle die and cardstock. I'm using a blending brush to blend in Concord and 9's Ballet Slipper ink to create a focal area on my card panel.
Wish that I could stay in this moment forever, so I can hold you in my arms. I will carry you on.
To add more to this panel, I grabbed my splatter box and placed the mask back over the panel. I then added some Brutus Monroe Gilded ink to my craft mat and spritzed a little water on a paintbrush. Tapping it on my finger, I added some splatter to the panel. Even with the splatter box, to protect my workspace, I still managed to splatter over the back of the box and added some nice gold sparkles to my iPad. Spinning your panel around doesn't help dry it faster, so I pulled out my heated tool and helped the process along. I added the Simon Hurley Spring Bunnies plates to the Betterpress chase and secured a piece of BISQUE cotton cardstock to the platen using my most reliable and favorite best ever tape. Before I finished prepping my dies, I did go ahead and bring in my Spellbinders die cutting machine. This way it was set up and ready for me to go once I added my ink to my dies. I used Concord and 9th Dove ink as my ink of choice for my dies, and I love how this softens as it dries. And then I ran the Betterpress system through the Platinum 6 machine. This set comes with coordinating dies, so I laid them out over the stamped images and adhered them in place using tape. Once I had them set up, I ran them through my Empress die cutting machine, and in the end, I didn't use all of these images on my final card.
My shoulders as long as I'm able, scare the monsters under your bed. Deep and abiding, liking for you is all I need. Until my heart gives in, I will do everything I can for you. You will grow up in the blink of an eye and move out and beyond your own.
I wanted to add a little bit of color to these images, so I used my Prismacolored pencils. I colored the eggs with pastel shades of pink, yellow, and green, and for the bunny I used pastel pink for its ears and then highlighted the fur with a soft gray color.
But no matter what comes your way, I will stay right here beside you to catch you if you fall and deep and abide.
One of my favorite layering dies is the Simon Says Stamp Stitched Rectangles. These dies have stitched edges on both sides of the die cut. I used the second largest die to die cut my background panel, and then I die cut the framed piece, the outer piece, with the largest die.
Liking for you is all I need.
Using a piece of Spellbinders brushed gold cardstock that was cut to an A2 size panel, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I again used the larger stitched die, but instead of using the inside die cut piece, I used the outside die cut piece to create a frame.
My heart gives in, I will do everything I can.
My card base is a piece of 110-pound cardstock that is cut at 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2. That's what makes this a top folding card. I'm going to layer my brushed gold cardstock around the frame I made with the rectangle dies. Each layer has its own stitched border, which is why these dies have always been one of my favorites. One of my favorite tools when I'm making a card is my reverse tweezers. I reach for these every single time I'm making a card. If you don't have a pair, you definitely should get a pair. I'm adding some liquid glue around the brushed gold cardstock frame and adhering that to the card base. I'll do the same thing for the other frame that I created from the background panel.
Deep and abiding liking for you is all I need. Until my heart gives in, I will do everything.
Panel I originally created with ink and gold splatter, I'm using a piece of Marble Rose cotton cord to wrap around that panel a few times. I'll adhere it on the back with a piece of yellow tape to keep it in place. On the back of the panel, I'm adding foam tape above and below the cotton cord. This will help the panel lay flat and the cording will not be in the way when I adhere it to the card base. Reverse tweezers also come in handy to remove the backing off of your foam tape. I'm going to add a layer of liquid glue to the foam tape so when I adhere the panel to the card base, it will help give me time to move it around in case I didn't get it set straight.
Wish that I could stay in this moment forever so I can hold you in my arms. I will carry you on my shoulders as long as I'm able. Scare the monsters under your bed. Deep and abiding, liking for you.
I'm ready to start adding the images to my card. I'm going to add some mini foam squares and liquid glue to the back of the bunny, and then I'll adhere that down over the cotton cord.
Is all I need until my heart gives in. I will do everything I can for you. You will grow up in the blink of an eye and move out and be on your own. But no matter what comes your way, I will stay right here beside you.
I also need to add my Easter eggs. I started off using my jewel picker, but then ended up switching over to my reverse tweezers. I'm adding liquid glue to one of the eggs and adhering that just behind the bunny. On the right hand side, I'm adding the two other eggs. I'm going to adhere one directly down to the panel and the other one I'm going to pop up off of the card with a mini foam square. I'll also adhere my Happy Easter sentiment onto this card panel as well.
To catch you if you fall, and deep and abiding, liking for you is all I need. Until my heart gives in, I will do everything I can for you.
We have to add a little sparkle and shine to our card with some sequins from This Calls from Confetti. I added 3 sequins closer to the bunny and 2 up near the sentiment. I'm adhering them down with liquid adhesive, and this is where my jewel picker comes in handy.
Deep and abiding, liking for you is all I need.
And the final step is to add a bow around the cording. I hope you enjoyed today's video and found it inspirational. Don't forget to give today's video a like. That's how YouTube knows that you enjoyed the video and it will share with more people. If you made it to the end of this video, add a bunny emoji to the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!